Life on wheels moving fast. Delivery daddy speeding. Popularity blast from the past. Hustle hard, work it out. City lights, no doubt. Packages in the backseat. Every day and new feet. Gig economy groove. Keep it moving, got your move. Delivery daddy's on the go. Popularity in the flow. From the sunrise till late light. Battle in the urban fight. The earnings earn mile by mile. All for that delivery smile. Chasing dreams on motorways. Larry Jason's podcast plays. Each episode brings new tips for the rideshare or food trips. Gig economy groove. Keep it moving, got your move. Delivery daddy's on the go. Popularity in the flow. From the sunrise till late light, battle in the urban fight. Earnings earned mile by mile, all for that delivery smile. Chasing dreams on motorways. Larry Jason's podcast plays. Each episode brings new tips for the rideshare or food trips. Gig economy groove. Keep it moving, got your move. Delivery daddy's on the go. Popularity in the flow. Gig economy groove. Keep it moving, got your move. Keep it moving, got your move. Delivery daddy's on the go. Popularity in the flow.
We don't care.
Hello, hello. Welcome to the Gig Economy Podcast, episode 208. We're talking about an immigrant rideshare launches in the Twin City, which is kind of cool, and a DoorDash driver predicts a recession, which I don't know if I'm going to take my financial recession advice from a DoorDash driver. No offense to any DoorDash drivers out there. You might be elite economists and financial advisors. I don't think so, though. Anyone would be DoorDash drivers. But anyways, how's it going, Larry?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. Yeah, I'm right with you. I don't think I'm going to be trusting my money or my finances
to
a DoorDash worker. But,
No.
you know, some people might.
Yeah.
Some people might.
Yeah, I'm going to pass on that. Everything Gig Economy Show related, go to gigeconomyshow.com, and you can just poke around and do whatever you want there. We also have a awesome Patreon, and I appreciate everyone for joining the Patreon. If you'd like to join the Patreon, there's a $5 and a $10 tier. Go to patreon.com/the Gig Econ Podcast. The $10 tier gets you an extra podcast a month, a t-shirt made by yours truly, me. I pointed to myself, and I did, and then realized that the slide is up. And you get ad-free episodes, and then the pre-ramble, and then the $5 tier you get just the pre-ramble. So we encourage you to join the $10 tier. I want to thank the members that we currently have: Samson from Grand Rapids, Bud Dickman from North Carolina, Frank from Philly, Steve from Colorado, Omar from Detroit, Delivery Cats from Michigan, Jamie from Tennessee, Tom from Chicago, Jim from Connecticut, and Miguel from Grand Rapids. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show and everything we do. Larry, tell us about the Telegram group.
Well, the Telegram group is a chat group. You can do text chat or you can do voice chat, which is kind of nice sometimes, especially if you're driving. Don't need to be texting when you're driving, but you can press a button and talk into the phone just like you're having a conversation. But we have a group there, gig workers from all the country and all the world, actually. Our friend Janet from New Zealand. You get on there, you can talk gig work, you can talk about what's going on in your life, you can vent, you can talk about what a great day you had and all the money you made, and you can make lots of friends and come to our picnic.
Yes, for sure. The picnic is September 14th, which is next month. I have done zero planning, and it's literally a month away.
1 month away.
It's in Grand Rapids, of course, because that's where we're from, at Riverside Park from 2 to 4 p.m. We're going to have some food and some prizes and just have a good old time. And I'm sure we'll go out later. If you've never been in Grand Rapids and you're out of town, out of area, come on down. There's lots of bars to go down and hang out and just have a good time, good food, and all that fun stuff. So
Yeah, we always have a blast.
Yep,
And
and we
someone will walk away with a thirsty goose.
a thirsty goose. And we just FYI, we do gamble on an app called
DraftKings.
Thank
it's
you.
the Rocky game.
The Rocky game. Dude, speaking of the Rocky game, I'm getting ads on Reddit. Like I'm getting I don't know why. Like I don't know if it's taken off or something. They're trying to push it, but yeah. Every other ad on my Reddit page is for the Rocket game. So.
They just heard you talking about it. Your phone heard you talking about it, and there it comes.
For sure. So, stories from the road. I wrote nothing as I prepared for the show yesterday, but then I had a little bit of an adventure today. Like I say, I've been doing flex. I had about a week off. Been working on a privacy fence in my backyard, so I spent all weekend last weekend doing that, 4 or 5 days. Finally getting back at it, and so took an early route this morning and ended up getting Schoolcraft. Now, for those in Michigan, that's 60 minutes away for one way. So that's the furthest I've ever gone. I don't know if we'll even go further than that, but put it this way. If you're familiar with Michigan, 131 is a highway that runs from northern Michigan, stops at the UP, and then all the way down. Well, I thought it went all the way down. Apparently, it turns into 55 and Schoolcraft. So, like it said, freeway ends. So I was like, geez. So on my way down, I always, and this is kind of a tip for y'all, when you're traveling a distance, especially with Flex, I always put my first address in Google Maps because typically you're not delivering very close, which, shocker, the day before, I literally drove, I say you don't deliver close, but I delivered across the street from the warehouse. So it's like, I drove 26 miles for my route that day. So I always put it in Google Maps just in case there's traffic, because a lot of times I'm doing morning routes or 5 p.m. routes, and it's just can get shitty.
Oh yeah.
So I'm driving, and all of a sudden it says 20 miles ahead, you got like a 20-minute like slowdown. It told me. I was like, okay, and then the time kept getting higher and higher and higher. Yep. So come to find out, we ended up having to get off the highway. They everyone off. Now this is like, 6:15, 6:30 in the morning. I mean, it's rush hour. People are going to work. It's the major highway through the state, and so we had to get off, and so my route started at 6:15. I didn't get to my first stop till 8:30. But I was only 19 minutes over my route time. So with Amazon Flex, they pay you for the drive down there delivering, but they don't pay you for the drive back. So I did end up getting back at 11:10. So I was 20 minutes over. I did submit for overage, but I don't know if I'll get it or not. I mean, I don't know if traffic accident is a valid reason why it took you so long, but who knows? They might pay me. If they threw me $20 or $25, I would take it. So unfortunately, there was a fatality on the highway. There was two guys working on their disabled car, and somebody hit him and killed the guy instantly there, and the other guy went to the hospital. And apparently he was arrested. The guy that hit him, he did stop at that point. So I don't know if there was drinking involved or whatnot. But so, when I was driving back north, it was still closed. So,
wow.
Yeah. So
that's a mess.
Yeah, that's a mess. So I figured it was something major. When they get you off the highway and they shut the highway down, there's probably a fatality.
Probably.
So, or I thought it was semis that just hit each other and they were all over the place. But anyways, so that was my adventure. I got all my packages delivered and I went home, and I was safe. So that's good. So what about you, Larry?
Yeah. So the Toyota I have is a 2016 Toyota Camry. And for some reason, the passenger side rear seatbelt, for some reason, people have trouble with it. Far more than any other car I've ever had. So I'm very used to hearing clink, 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 clink. They're trying to put the seatbelt in. They can't get it. And sometimes they just give up. So picked up this couple. They were probably late 40s, early 50s of the night. No, actually, I know they were 51, 53 because that comes up later.
Oh,
But they were both pretty tipsy. Picked them up from a bar downtown. They lived on the outskirts of the county, kind of out toward my house. So it's 15, 20-minute drive. And so we get in, we take off, and I start hearing it. The guys, the man's sitting in the passenger side, the lady's sitting behind me. So I start hearing him trying to put the seatbelt together. This keeps going, clink, 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 like 2-3 minutes, clink, nothing. And finally, just to make him feel better, I'm like, hey, everybody has trouble with that seatbelt. Don't feel bad. It happens all the time. And for some reason, the lady in her drunken state thought that was the funniest thing she'd ever heard. She started like laughing, like snorting, laughing. She was snorting. She thought it was hilarious. So he's still trying, and finally he just stops. I hear the sound stop anyway, and she's like, "Did you get it, honey?" He's like, "Yeah." And she like leans over. I see her in the rearview mirror. I see her lean over. She's like, "No, you didn't. Here, let me get it." So she starts clink, 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 and then she starts laughing because she can't get it either. She's just cracking up. So anyway, I think they finally just give up.
yeah.
And so then she turned. She's like, "So you from here? From?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "How long you lived here?" I'm like, "I've lived here, 51 years." And she's like, "51? How old are you?" I'm like, "I'm 58. You don't look 58, does he, honey? He's like, "No." And then, and this starts to be a theme. She says, "You don't look 58. And she puts her hand on my shoulder.
Okay, here we
For
go.
a couple seconds. And then she takes off. And then she said, "Well, where'd you go to high school?" This, that. "Oh, you went to Bowling Green High?" Put your hand on the shoulder. This goes on. And, it's nothing. I mean, it doesn't bother me, but you never know how the husband's going to react.
Yeah.
But he's toasted. I mean, he could care less. So this goes on pretty much for the rest of the ride. And when we get to their house and I pull in the driveway, they both get out. And I mean, I sat there to make sure they made it because they were stumbling very bad. I was like, one of them's getting ready to do a header. I don't know which one, but one of them's getting ready to go down. So I sit there and they managed to stumble up to the garage and somehow get, punch in the numbers, open their door and get inside. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Imagine the hangover for them too.
Oh my, yeah, it's going to be a rough one.
I love drinking, but God dang it, man. The recovery is just horrible.
I think the last time I don't remember the last time I was drunk. It's been several decades ago.
We're not going to get you drunk when you come to the picnic, but you have to have at least one full beer with us.
I'll drink one.
All right.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
Or we'll go to the woodshed that we did last time, the Gabe bar, and we'll get you a nice. Oh, what was that one that Gabe got?
That big drink that Gabe and Sam
they were
got.
like,
I ain't paying that.
No, and then how fussy he was about it because it was like not as much alcohol.
Yeah, it was watered down.
Yeah, it was like $44 or something like that.
There's hardly any alcohol.
See, that's why you get beer. Or just straight whiskey because you know you're getting the alcohol content.
Exactly. The only other thing I have stories. This first time that one of the services has not given me a cleanup fee. So I had a guy had three. They're a little out of college, probably. Kids, taking them to a gated, very very wealthy neighborhood. The one guy in the back, he was just you could tell he was just a prick. He was stuck up, just snotty and everything. And when they got out, look back, he'd been eating Doritos all over my seat, So I took pictures. I was like, well, he's going to pay.
Yeah.
Since left, and they're like, sorry, it's for stuff you can, just clean up that quick. Not going to pay you.
You should have, not that I condone this. For everyone listening, you should have just thrown a little water down there, made it wet. I'm like, I don't know. There's some fluid down there too. I don't know what it is. Sorry.
Hey, I may or may not have done that.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that that anything like dry like that, they're probably gonna not. They're gonna not.
Yeah, and if it was somebody that was a good customer, I wouldn't have even done it.
Yeah.
He was just such a just
dick.
Condescending. Like we got to the gate and they didn't live in this community. I guess they had a friend that lived in the community, and the guard was like, "Hey, I'm trying to get a hold of these people." He wouldn't let us in. There's another car in front that was apparently going to the same house. But they couldn't get a hold of the people who were having the party.
Okay.
And so the guard's holding us there, and the guy's like, "You need to just look on for this name on the guest list. We're there. You need to let us in." I'm like, "Quit being a dick, man. We're not going. Just hold up."
Yeah, shut your mouth. I would have been like, "Ride over. Bye."
Yeah, you can walk from here.
Oh my gosh. Well, at least the
Yeah.
security guard did his job. Like, he ain't going in
Yeah.
there. Like, if I don't know, if it's not been approved and I can't get a
Yeah.
hold of him, turn around.
Yeah, it all depends on who you get at the gate. Because I've had some people who are like that, and then some people are like, you show them like, "Hey, I'm Uber," and show them a name.
Oh.
They're like, "Ah, go on in," you know.
Yeah, I could see that if you're an Uber driver. It's crazy. Going back to the seatbelt thing, I have the same problem in my new car, my Bolt.
Oh, really?
People can't. It's almost like they put it a little too far in towards your butt cheek, like it needed to be moved into the middle, because it's the same thing. They're trying to clink it, and they almost got to like really lean over and push it down to get it in. It's just like, it feels like it's not as accessible. So I hear people clanking it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're drunk, you're gonna struggle. I mean,
Yeah. It's weird that my previous Camry, the one that got totaled, the problem with it is it would always the middle seat belt and the passenger side would swap,
and then
I
it
would
wouldn't
straighten
connect.
They'd be trying to put it in the wrong one.
Okay.
So, the two, they would just kind of get twisted.
Yeah.
And so they'd be trying to put it in the middle one, and it doesn't go in that one.
Oh,
it doesn't.
It doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And so I would have to I'd straighten that out like 3-4 times a night, a lot of times, or just tell them, try the other one.
Yeah.
That's not this problem. That's the right one. And the driver's side rear seat doesn't seem to have that problem.
Oh.
It's just the passenger side. But I hear it I hear it so much. You see that click, back there clicking, trying to get in, and I try to be lighthearted. Like, hey, everybody has trouble with it.
Oh, I
It's
do
not
the
only
same
you.
thing.
Yeah.
I go, I don't know what's up with that seatbelt. I feel like they made it wrong. That's what I say.
Yes,
just some
exactly.
bullshit.
Yeah, something's engineered wrong with it for sure. But yeah, how just certain things set people off when you're drunk. For some reason, when I said, she started laughing. And like I said, she snorted several times. She was rolling. She thought it was the funniest thing that he couldn't get this seatbelt on.
I don't know what it is, but women like snorting when they laugh. It's like, it's not hot by any means, but it's like endearing. So it's endearing. And I just like die when it happens.
It cracks me up.
Oy vey.
Yeah, she started putting that hand on the shoulder. I was like, oh man, I don't know where this is going.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. Like, does that doesn't make you like? It's like weird, right? There's a line where you're like, okay, like I don't mind when I drink too. Like, I'm a big toucher as far as like, hey, how's it going? Like. But
I know I've been around you when you were drinking.
Yeah.
I've been touched many times.
Yeah. But one thing I do draw the line at is my beard. It's very, it's a little too personal, I guess, for that.
Yeah,
so
I
was
understand that. Yeah, that's different.
You're grabbing it, you're on my face, and I'm just like, hey, yo, like,
personal space a little bit. Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, like I said, and she wasn't like putting it on there and like rubbing my shoulder or anything. I think it was totally innocent. But when it first happens and then it happens again, you're like, you start getting on guard. Like, okay, we're gonna have to monitor this situation.
And then Larry's like, lower. No, I'm just kidding. All right, moving on.
Right there.
Moving on. 616 Locksmith is a sponsor of this amazing show. Check him out. 616-914-3487. Matt is a great guy. Did gig work when gig work first started in Grand Rapids. Him and I met. And then over the years, he had worked for different locksmith companies. And then he started one of his own because, like, who doesn't want to work for themselves? Because that's, like, the best. So, yeah, check him out. You can the links are in the description. He does house, car. He's made keys for me. He can program keys if you have a fob, all that stuff. So all that stuff's getting techie now, and he's able to do that. So check him out. And then, of course, tip you in the app. Levi does a great job on content. Uber driver, drives a Tesla. It's kind of cool story. If you don't know what episode it is for us, but he came on the show and tells a little bit about him being like kind of in corporate America and just decided, I don't want to do this anymore, and kind of became a gig worker, Uber driver full time, and obviously a content creator and those things. So, check those boys out. Gig economy in the news. Yeah, we don't have a ton, but one of the things we have, and I'm interested to see what everyone thinks about this. It's TikTok of these Waymo cars. I'm not sure if they're like going online or coming home, but we'll play the video and we'll go from there. Oh shit, where did it go? Is this it? Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, it's 3 minutes long, but basically it's all these Waymo cars and they're honking. It's 4 a.m. This guy's recording out of his apartment window. I'm like, can you? So it must be they're like,
It's in the morning. I read a little bit on the story.
Okay.
Apparently in the morning when they're getting ready to go out to work for the day, and I guess they're all kind of waking up. And of course, you see them all. They're all trying to pull out. I guess, and they're in each other's way, so they start honking at each other. But you would think somebody would think, hey, maybe we should stagger the times just a little bit, a minute or two, something
Right.
like that. But yeah, if I lived in that apartment and you hear that going off every morning,
I'd file a complaint.
For sure.
So you said you read up on it a little bit. There's not people in there, right?
No.
So
no.
where are they programmed to go in a certain part of the city? Is that what it is? Like
I
they
guess
deploy?
so. Yeah. It didn't really explain it, but yeah, I guess they got a holding lot where I guess maybe they bring them in. I'm sure somebody has to come and clean them and all that kind of stuff. Maybe they wash them or do maintenance or anything like that. But yeah, this guy's like, he said at first it was just like one or two horns, and then he says it just kept getting worse and worse and worse.
So they're honking because the car in front of them is going to hit, right? Is that?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, they should let like 2 out at a time and like, let's figure this out. It's a technology company.
Exactly. You would think that, yeah. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Yeah, somebody's like, oh, 4 o'clock, that's when they need to take off. They don't think about it.
Well, I would file a complaint, and it kind of reminds me of pickleball. So that's become the rage now, and I play it and love it. But people don't realize that the balls are loud when you hit the paddle, and so they're putting these courts next to these condos and stuff, and people are like, "Oh, fuck no!" And we're like, "You should have thought about that. Like, did you not do any research?" And so that's been kind of a thing too. But yeah, they definitely need to file a complaint, and they can fix that. They can turn the horn off or something, or not honk. I don't know, but somebody needs to redo some coding. That's for sure. So.
Yes, indeed.
Moving on. So I put both articles in there. I thought you saw the first one actually doesn't really say much. I realized that, but talks about Lyft rolling out some things to address the app's most hated feature. Yeah.
So they're rolling out or going to test a new feature called Price Lock.
Okay.
And what it is they're going to let people, and it's really based for people who use it to go to work. It's a regular trip that they take, because what it does is if you purchase this monthly subscription, you can cap the price for a specific route at a specific time. So if you go to work at 6:30 every morning, you come home at 5:30 every night, with your subscription, you can lock in a price on that, and it doesn't matter if it's surging, you're not going to pay any more than that.
Okay.
And it says that it's designed to address the inconsistencies of surge pricing, or as Uber calls it, prime time. That's their name for surge pricing. And it's part of their broader plan to, as they say, open a can of whoop ass on prime time.
Wow. You guys are so tough.
He said that that's one of his, big, their new CEO, that's one of his big goals, is to reduce that surge as much as possible.
Yeah, so to reduce the surge and then get them on a subscription that they auto renews every month.
Yeah, but he does. I mean, he said the subscription would be under $5 a month.
Oh, really?
That's what it says. It says it'd be under $5 a month. And they were testing the feature. The guy who wrote the article said in his app it was showing that for him in his area it would cost $2.99 a month. So I mean that's nothing.
Why wouldn't you sign up for that then?
Yeah, but it's not for all surge. It's I don't know how many times or routes you can lock in.
Gotcha.
But it has to be for I guess a consistent ride that you're taking every.
So it can't be like you're going out to the bar Friday night.
No. It's not. Yeah, because that's where it is confusing. Because you're like, yeah, I'll pay $5 a month not to ever pay any surge.
Okay, that's why I was shocked with the price. I was like, $5? Like
exactly. Yeah, you would thought it'd been a whole lot more than that,
right?
But yeah, so they're making a concerted effort to reduce the number of rides that are impacted by surge pricing, and over the last quarter, that number declined by 25%. And this was the first quarter ever that Lyft reported profitability.
Wow.
But they had a really, kind of low forecast for the quarter after that, for the third quarter. So, they're still kind of up and down. I think he has some good ideas, but we'll see how they all play out.
Well, third quarter is rough for rideshare if that's all you're doing, because the rideshare takes a dip in the summer. I mean, everywhere. People are going on vacation. They're not in town much, and so somebody like maybe Uber doesn't have that. They have so many different avenues of revenue that are coming in. But yeah, if you're strictly rideshare, quarter 3 is going to be a little slow. So, but all right. Well, I mean, I know you really like the new Lyft CEO. You're hoping that he turns things around. Honestly, though, when we came back from COVID, Lyft was charging people so much fucking money, and we weren't seeing shit of it. Like, I don't know if that's come down a little bit, like, because I haven't done rideshare like for the whole summer, so I don't hear people talking about it as passengers, because I always am, and then curious of what they pay, and then obviously I can see what they pay, and then I'm just like, holy shit, that's so much money. But
exactly,
yeah, interesting. All right, next up, it says, I usually write so TikTok links, it doesn't tell you what it is, and I wrote a description, no dad joke, and I'm like, I don't remember what this one is, and I literally looked at it yesterday. No dad joke. I saw the guy. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yep. We'll see if you can get it. I don't even know if it's gonna. We'll probably have to redo it or talk about it for the audio, but here we go.
Just ordered Uber. The driver looks exactly like my dad.
He's in a Waymo. Okay. Yeah. So the guy's like, the driver looks exactly like his dad, and he's in a Waymo car with no driver. So
no driver.
yeah. That's funny. Oh God. I like a good no dad joke. That cracks me up. So
definitely.
So next up, this picture, it's just hilarious. I actually titled the episode that, and then I was like, I don't think anyone's gonna get it. But then I forgot to change the thumbnail. So here you go. This is a conversation with, I think it's Uber. Yeah, it's Uber.
Yeah, it looks like an Uber driver or Uber app comment. So the passengers can send you comments before you get there in the chat. So all it shows is the passenger sent a message that says, "I'm here in a red bra."
You're like,
well, okay. Is that?
Did you?
Not sure how to respond to that.
Yeah. Did you? When you saved that, did you have the link with it or not? Oops, I'm in the wrong chat. Oh, no, you didn't. Because I swear to God, I saw that. I must have saw it in Reddit when just browsing, and the comments were hilarious. Like someone said, I'm hoping you're whipping it around above your head when I get there or something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Reddit. Reddit's always going to have jokes.
They're coming clutch. So, yeah, I must have, as I was browsing, saw that again. But, yeah, I mean, I do appreciate, especially if it's busy, someone describing that. But I have a lot of times when they do it at the GR airport, and maybe they're used to like big airports, but they're like, I'm wearing a red coat and brown pants and green shoes. And I'm like, cool. I'm in a black car.
Yeah. What I hate is when they do that message. I'm here over and over. And like, you're not even like halfway there. And they can see that on the app.
And you say you're here. That doesn't fucking help me.
That doesn't tell me anything.
No, great. I'm here in my car too. We're BFFs.
I'm here. You're there.
You're there. And I'm leaving.
Yeah. So yeah. People, some people get excited about that. So I'm here in a red bra till you get there, and it's some dude named Chester.
Oh, yeah. That was another joke too. Yeah. That's amazing. Oh my God. So hopefully she was cute and it wasn't Chester. So Nebraska delivers over 31,000 letters to the lawmakers opposing a delivery tax. So I thought that was a little interesting. They delivered all these letters as part of the governor's property tax relief proposal. There's a plan to increase an additional 2% on top of Nebraska's already. I can't believe we're talking about fucking Nebraska, by the way. Already existing 5.5 tax rate on delivery orders. So apparently it's 5.5. Like, I don't know if it's just special for delivery orders, but I thought this was weird, though. It says, with the economy facing certain headwinds, lawmakers should be doing everything they can do to help Nebraskans get ahead. What they absolutely shouldn't be doing is imposing new taxes that will ultimately make it expensive for working people to buy groceries, feed their families, or stock up on essentials like medicine, dish soap, and diapers. We know this tax will do most of the harm to those who can least afford it, which is why Nebraskans have been so unified in their opposition. I mean, why are you using delivery services for that? You know what I mean? But then what they say is like, according to Chamber for Progress, 54% of U.S. adults have used delivery app in the last year. The statement says that Nebraskans who rely on delivery service due to lack of physical mobility, lack of access to a vehicle, and living in a food desert will feel the proposed tax the worst. I mean, yeah, but it doesn't say out of that 54% how many of those have those qualifications of no car mobility. Because I bet it's less than 1%. I mean, I bet you most people are doing that because they're fat and lazy and they don't want. I mean, nothing against. It's not a. I'm not hating on fat people. It's just a general term of being lazy. I don't know why I said fat and lazy, but just I think that's who's ordering and they're drunk. I don't think it's people with mobility and so on and so forth. Now, I do feel as the next generation moves forward, you're going to see a lot of that. Because I drive for a retirement community, and I drive on Thursdays, and I take people to Meijer. I mean, why wouldn't they order it like online? Well, they don't fucking know how to do that.
Right. They don't go online.
Yeah, they don't go online. So it's like, why? I feel so bad for some of them because some of them do have mobility issues. They're in a walker, and I'm taking them to Meijer. And now they are independent living. They can get around, but it's like, God, why wouldn't you want to just get it delivered? But
be so much easier.
Yeah. So I do think that would be, something down the road. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing, though. Like it's going to be a 7.5% tax. Plus all the bullshit fees. I mean, it adds up. And depending on the area, we've talked about like New York, Seattle. What do they were going to pull out of Seattle, and they finally had an agreement to lower that $5. They were adding like what, $5?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. But anyways, I think tax is good in some areas, but I don't think it's going to be as impactful as this guy thinks because you can just not get your food delivered and just go pick it up. So yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree, and that really is a segue into the next story for sure.
Well, we got to do an ad first.
All righty.
Yeah, you screwed up this time. Yes.
I didn't say I was getting ready to read it. I just said that's a good segue into our next story.
So we were talking about stories from the road earlier, and I was like, shit, did I screw up the order again? I was like, nope, I looked. Yeah. I'm Ron Burgundy. I got to read it. Octopus tablet, link is in the description. Real quick, if you would love to get a tablet for free and entertain your passengers and make up to $100 a month, then go right ahead and do that. It's based on you driving around and passenger action. You got to drive pretty full time to get the $100, but I mean, it's easy income to get, and there's no reason why you shouldn't do it because it's free.
Yeah, it's passive. You don't have to do anything. I mean, you get the tablet, you set it up, plug it in, and just, every now and then you'll get a email from Octopus saying, hey, you got $25 you can cash out.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Also, they do a lot of prizes, giveaways.
Yeah. What's been going on with them now? I don't really follow them much since I'm not doing really any
they still have their giveaways. They'll usually do, different giveaways. Sometimes it's, $50 and then the big one will be a $500, and then sometimes it's $100, giveaways and the big one will be $1,000, something like that. But
okay.
They're always doing something.
Yeah, for sure. God, I swear, are we even on fucking YouTube? Because we've got one person on Twitch watching us. I was just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, nobody in the chat.
I know, it just really threw me off. Like, did we even go to YouTube? I was just going there. Yeah, we're on there. I don't know what's happening, but God, that's strange. Usually we'll have 6 or 7 on there, but I'm just like, because I can look up here. If you hover over you can tell who's where, and there's literally no one on. We must be shadow banned today or something, or Steve's streaming. We share a lot of audience. I think that happened last time when I was doing my ride along with Flex. But
it's like here, I'll join your Patreon because I'm taking all your watchers tonight.
Say that again?
So Steve's like, here, I'll join your Patreon because I'm taking all your
you're getting 0 views tonight for sure. All right, let's move on to the next story.
Okay, so yeah, DoorDash driver, delivery driver is questioning why a customer placed an order from a Steak and Shake restaurant, which just happened to be right across the parking lot from where he was delivering it.
Okay.
So this TikTok user, Kobe Joe, expressed his confusion at the customer's decision in his TikTok video. Um, said that he was standing outside of a Steak and Shake and has a bag of food in his hands. He's talking to the camera, and then he's like, "What has DoorDash come to? I just picked up an order here," and he points to the Steak and Shake. He's like, "And I'm taking it there," which is like a little strip mall, just basically across the parking lot. He's talking about how why are people doing? Why would you pay that money to get it delivered when it literally, couple minute walk and everything? But as some of the people, some of the comments kind of defended it, especially if it's in a business, the person could be the only person working there. They can't leave.
Yep.
A lot of places, you just can't if there's nobody there besides you. And then, other people are like, well, I don't care. I'm just going to put a sign on the door and go get my food. And you can't do that. Some places, they will just won't allow it.
Yeah.
So there, you never know the backstory of why the person did it. I mean, there are some people that they will do that. There was comments. One girl, she's like, "Hey, I live basically right across the street, but I don't want to have to go down the elevator and walk across the street, get my food."
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's kind of a little lazy. But if you want to do it, more power to you.
Going back to the other article, I mean, you're paying for a service. If someone wants, if you want to do that, then go right ahead, but just like everything else, there's mobility issues or,
sure.
Mom's home with a kid and she wants food or needs some medicine from Walgreens or something like that.
Yeah, but my bet is, like I said, he was delivering it sounded like to a strip mall or a business, and probably somebody that was there that couldn't leave,
right?
Couldn't shut the store down. People were like, "Oh, just put a sign on there and go get it." Well, they might not even have a key to lock the door.
Yeah,
you can't just do that everywhere.
Well, the funny part is, you're the dumbass that took it. If you're gonna make a video on it or a comment about it, you're the one that took it. Like, you could have been.
Yeah, if you're making money on it, that's just something for content. It's content,
right? I often find too, if people do that and you ended up bringing it to a hotel, they don't realize how close they are.
Yeah, I've had that.
They're out of town.
I've had that with Uber before. People were like, "Oh man, if we realized it was right here, we would have just walked."
Yeah. I always look at that stuff. Like when I'm anywhere and I was like, all right, I want to go to this restaurant. I always like map it out and be like, ooh, no, we should take an Uber. That's too far.
Yeah. But there's one restaurant called Double Dogs, which is right by a couple of hotels. And I've had that happen a couple of times. People get in and I take it in. They're like, "Oh my, are you serious? It's right here." And we're like, "Oh, it looked further, or we thought it was further than that, or we would have never. We're sorry for the short trip." And then usually tip you $5 or something.
Yeah, I've had that before, but they never cancel it. They're like, "Yeah, well, we already got it. Let's just,
Yeah, mine don't ever realize it till we're there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, till like we drive.
Oh, because I typically go. I confirm. I'm like, is this where you want to go? Because this is 0.2 of a mile down the road. They're like, what?
Yeah. No, I'm like, I'm already there. I'm going to take the trip.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I want it, but I'm just saying, I'm surprised they don't be like, that's okay.
Yeah, it happens.
It happens. So, like I said in the title, this is, again, we're still talking about Minnesota. I don't know how to pronounce this. I just listen. I want to say it's Hitch. I know it's not spelled like that, but we know me and spelling. How would you pronounce it?
Yeah, that's what it looks like it would be to me. But it could be hike, because it is, it's obviously not an American name, I don't think. There's a lot of ways that could be pronounced, but I would, Hitch is what we would think it would be. But I bet that's not what it is.
Well, wait a minute. No, because there's a Hitch ride. There's already a Hitch rideshare.
Okay, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, HITCH?
Yeah, that's how you spell Hitch. So right. I Googled it without the T and it like auto-corrected to Hitch.
Yeah.
Well,
So yeah, I mean, he's just from Somalia. So
yeah, it's definitely
it's
not
probably
Hitch.
yeah.
All right. Anyways, let's get off the name of it. Good luck figuring it out. Yeah, he's a Somali refugee. He has spent 2 years as an Uber driver in California. He is now working with somebody to get this rideshare off the ground, and they really want to start in Minnesota, St. Paul, and they're rolling out on Thursday. I'm going to say Hitch. Hitch will roll out service to Minneapolis, St. Paul, and if it completes the permitting process, the airport. Hitch is the latest of 3 small rideshare companies that launched in the Twin Cities. According to this guy, he and his 5 business partners have spent as much $400K to get it up and running in Minnesota. After 8 months, he has 300 drivers prepared for background checks and expects to have 250 ready by launch day. So this guy's got a little bit of money and, seems to have people behind him. They initially planned to charge drivers $200 a month, very steep, or $9.99 per day to use the app. The company now plans to give drivers 3 months of free access while it sorts out the pricing. Drivers will keep all the passenger fares, and they have a chance to buy ownership shares in the company. I think this is great. Anytime there's competition by any means, I think it's great. So this was kind of shitty, and God, I hate when people do this, but he had arrived in Minnesota last year to open an office in Bloomington. He found a chilly reception. City officials discouraged him from spending thousands required for a transportation network company license. Drivers laughed in his face and couldn't believe someone like them, black and Muslim, wanted to compete against multi-billion-dollar giants like Uber and Lyft. I mean, come on, fuckers! I want you guys to compete. I don't care what color you are or what you do. Let's go. Let's get some more money into drivers' pockets. You should all care about that. And that's really a weird response, especially since every time there is a new company coming around, drivers get excited. I see people talking about, of course, there's the naysayers that are like, it's never going to work, But I do see people excited about it because people are tired of being destroyed by Uber and Lyft.
Yes, no doubt. And you can tell, this people are, they're very serious about it. 400K is, not pocket change.
No.
So, they've invested some money and much more than you see the people that have a GoFundMe to start their rideshare company.
Yeah, that one guy. Yeah. And honestly, all this breaks down for drivers, and maybe a lot of drivers don't care, but you got to have insurance. If you can't offer drivers insurance, I think that should be you can't even get it all depends on the area that you're, the city or the state, but the state should be if you can't offer the insurance on top of, the driver's insurance, we're not going to issue a license. It's just dangerous for everybody involved,
Yes.
So of course they didn't say anything about that, but yeah, I would like to talk to them. It's always good to get new rideshare companies around. I know Rides, WRIDZ, they're moving around. I'm set up on their app. I'm just waiting for them to come around. Not that I'm doing rideshare a lot now, but you know me, shit changes. Sometimes I do rideshare for 3 months straight, and then I'll do flex, and so.
Yeah, and the Rides have said they received approval in St. Paul. They're working toward approval at the airport, and they said they have between 500 and 1,000 drivers. And that signups have slowed a little bit recently, but he expects an increase in December once the new minimum pay law goes into effect.
Yeah. How in general do you feel? Because it looks like there's, we really remember Trip. We really shit on them because it was straight up pyramid scheme.
Yes.
Plus a subscription. But I feel like a lot of these new companies, it is subscription. How do you feel about that? I mean, obviously 200 to me is a little, I guess as a full-time driver, it's not too much.
It still seems steep to me because it seems like the other ones were all 100 a month. Or
yeah, it is double. It is double what they.
It is. Yeah, I think it is double from anything I've seen.
Well, I like the $9.99 process. If I can go out, think about how much Lyft charges their customers. If I can go out and work 12 hours on Lyft, and for $10, I get to keep everything.
Yeah.
For part-time drivers, that's great. 200 a month. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, if you're a full-time driver and you're working, 20 20 days a month, whatever it is you work.
Yeah.
You know?
20 days if you don't work if you take 2 days off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It
mean,
might be worth it.
that's $10 a day. That's
Yeah.
what they figure out that you're going to do. But think about it. Not having any fees taken out, like,
Mhm.
I think that's great. I like that process, and I like that they offer a per time thing for part-time drivers, so they don't have a
Yeah, and let you
commitment.
try it out too. You don't have to commit, to the whole month. You could try it out and see how it goes. And if you like it, you get into, especially if they just do it on a month by month basis. You're not tied into like have to sign like a 6-month contract or something like that.
Well, then it boils down to my same question every time: is that going to be enough cash flow for them to keep the business running? If they're taking zero, we're keeping everything the driver makes. I mean,
yeah,
the guy pays $10 for the day, and he makes $300 on the app, and that's it. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Maybe when it's bare bones, there's not as much overhead.
Mm-hmm.
But I would think even with the insurance, it would be more than $10. I don't know.
Yeah. You gotta wonder if they really done the business planning and are able to use really good numbers to project what it's going to take, what the costs are going to be for insurance. And there is back end, there is servers and things that have to be done.
Yeah.
People take care of them and things like that. So yeah, you got to wonder.
Well, I think
on
a bigger scale it would work, but when you're dealing with 200 drivers, you know what I mean, and you're only charging $10 a day, like, I don't know. But I don't know anything about the business as far as that end goes. So
yeah.
All right, this is kind of a funny bit about Uber. The guy, he's a comedian.
He's good.
It's good, but like he stares weirdly. Like it's a little awkward, and maybe that's supposed to be. Let's see. Yeah. 2 minutes. We'll watch it because it's worth it. It's funny. So
yes,
here we go.
It is good.
My dad gets jumped by 6
That's
guys.
not it.
Not funny.
What? So I have it. Did I not save it? Oh, shoot.
You did.
No, I didn't.
No.
No, because the one above is a. Wait a minute. Where's that one from?
No, and in the outline it's labeled public freakout.
Yeah, but that's not the one we're doing. We're doing the TikTok one. That's not in there.
Oh yeah, no, that is no, I'm sorry, I'm looking the wrong one.
But
yeah,
I have
TikTok.
Yeah, what is this? Oh yeah. Did we not talk about that one? Did we not have that in here?
No,
or did we talk about that last week? Oh, we talked about that last week. I left it in there. Oh my God, what is happening? That's where the lady sprayed it in that guy's face.
Yeah.
That was last week, right?
That was last week.
Are you sure? You don't seem confident when you said that.
No. We definitely talked about that.
Okay, well let me rip this video a minute. I don't know what happened to it.
No worries.
It'll only take a second. I may still have it, but I don't want to go searching for it, so I'm just going to download it.
Yeah,
it's easier. To
it is. It's worth it. It's pretty funny.
Yeah,
he does a pretty good job.
Let's see.
Yeah, I think the weird staring. I think it's all part of the bit.
Yeah. Okay, I'm loading. Yeah, I must have never ripped it. Duh. Okay, hold on. It's uploading. My screaming fast internet. And processing.
Yeah, I wonder where everybody's at tonight.
It's so strange, Larry. I shared it to all the Facebook groups.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like we've been shadow banned.
I think we got canceled.
One on YouTube, and one on Twitch, which has got to be it's got to be Pete, but he's not commenting. I haven't seen Mark in like a month. Okay, here we go. Okay, it's 3:27. It's longer than I thought. Here we go.
So recently I was in Portland, Oregon, and if you've been there, then you know it's a factory where they make white people. And anyway, I called this car to come pick me up, and this Uber driver shows up in a Tesla, and I was like, hell yeah, a fellow intellectual. And then this guy shows up, and he sees that I had a carry-on and a suitcase with me, and he was like, hey man, are those yours? And I was like, I'm holding them, so I really hope so. And then he was like, yeah, I don't have space for this. Where am I supposed to put this? And I was like, I was hoping in your car. And then he was like, yeah, you should have let me know beforehand that you would have luggage with you. And I was like, my bad, man. I should have let you know about the luggage. situation. I just thought you could tell from context clues, like the fact that you're picking me up from the airport, like what's going on? Like, are you new here on this planet? Do you think I work here? I don't know. I just arrived, just a civilian. Then I managed to get my stuff into his car eventually. And he saw my he saw my name on his screen, and he was like, "Hey man, how do you say this so I know how to address you?" And I was like, "Bro, no need to address me. Whatever you think it is, just keep it here. I'm sure it's correct." But he kept insisting, and I was like, "It's Muhammad." And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Muhammad." And he was like, "That's interesting." And I was like, "Keep it going. I want to hear it." And he was like, "No, just because here in the States, it's pronounced Muhammad." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a great point. It's not how my name works, but I appreciate the perspective. I love to learn." And then he was like, "Yeah, man, I drive Lyft mostly or Uber just to talk to people. I like to get to know people. That's why I drive it." And I was like, "Oh, I take Lyft just mostly because I like to go to locations. I'm more of a point A to point B enthusiast." And then he kept driving. And then midway through the ride, he was like, "Hey, man, I have a question to ask. Can I ask it?" And I was like, "I don't think I have a choice, so go on." And he was like, "Are you into crypto?" And I was like, "Honestly, I would have rather if you said something racist. Like, why would you say that to my face? Is that the vibe I'm giving off? I'll throw myself out of the car right now." Then he asked another question, and he was like, "You have an accent. Where are you from?" So I said, "I'm from Libya." And the reason I said I was from Libya is because I'm from there. And he was like, "That's cool, man. I have a cousin, and he works in Saudi Arabia." And I was like, "That's also a country. I'll give you that." And last question was, he asked me if I had any plans for the week. And I was like, "You know what, man? No." And the thing is, the place he was driving me to was a prison. And I was going to go there to teach a workshop. That was the reason I was in Portland in the first place. But he didn't know that I was going there for that. So when he asked me if I had any plans for the week, I was like, "Nah, man, I don't have any plans for the week or the next 10 to 7 years, hopefully." And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, I just woke up this morning." And I was like, "I'm so tired of running. Maybe it's time to turn myself in, bring some justice to the families, plural." So yeah, I'm just here to turn myself in. And he stopped talking to me, so I think that worked. And I love that he thought I was walking into a prison with a carry-on, just being like, "Do you guys get room service here? What's the vibe like?" Anyway, I do like Portland, though, and I'll be back.
Oh my gosh! Oops,
He was good. Yeah,
that was good. I think maybe the stare, because I think he was reading it. I think he maybe had written it out. I don't know. That was freaking funny. Yes. And then I was like, and then he said something like, and something about their families, plural or something, like there was more victims or something like that.
Yeah, and there's just something about that. It's the rhythm, the cadence that he has. Because I remember we played a video one night that I had found, but it was a female, and she was telling the story, but she had very much that same cadence.
Yeah, I follow her. Yeah,
I do too. Yeah,
she's funny. After that night, I followed her. She's funny. She's got some. She is stories.
Pretty good, but she kind of has that same cadence or same. I don't know. Just the way she tells the story.
Yeah, it's cadence. Yeah. It's definitely the right word for it. So yeah, that was good because it's true. The crypto thing killed me. Like,
yeah, yeah. But and this, I mean, the suitcase thing got me too.
Yeah,
picking him up from an airport, and you're like, should have informed him of the luggage situation.
Yeah. It's like, God dang it, man, idiots.
Yeah.
So,
oh my gosh.
So this next one I played a little bit. This is weird. So it's a guy that gets kind of attacked. We're going to watch the whole thing. Tell me what you think at the end. It was a weird, the daughter was promoting it, but then what I saw was a stupid action by the driver. So we'll play it and we'll talk.
My dad gets jumped by 6 guys during Uber. This is them planning.
So they're like, he supposedly thinks they're planning in the background, like they were going to attack him or something. I really don't think that that's what was happening, but I should have cut all this shit out.
Oh my God, my neck! Oh my God! don't worry. I'm gonna beat the shit out of him. I'm gonna beat the shit out of him. Fuck you, cocksucking. I'm gonna fuck up, man. What you want? I just said you want too fast. That's it. And you give me attitude, so. Right. Don't come here. You ride a car before? Yeah, your ride's a piece of shit. Now give me the fucking car. What are you doing? You're the man. Learn how to brush it out. What is that? Play some? Look what you want, huh?
Okay. Well, I didn't realize how much music was on that, so that's fun. So yeah, what you see in the video for the audio listeners is it looks like they're planning in the background. That's what they say it, but I don't think they were.
Yeah, I didn't really see it. He's like, oh, points at my dad, but I didn't really see anybody pointing. And
Yeah.
you can't hear him, so I don't know how she realizes or thinks that they're planning this big deal. Yeah, it's a little sus.
Yeah. So, anyways, she thinks that that's happening. Towards the end, they do get a little mouthy. He mouths back at him.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying I have a big mouth. I may mouth back at him, but towards the end, they're mouthing again. And he gets out.
When he gets out of the car, that's the wrong move.
That's the wrong move. And
once they're out of the car, you get the hell out.
Yeah, and honestly, you're gonna get out with 6 of them? No, you get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, especially you never know who's gonna pull out a gun.
Yeah,
and 6 of those guys.
I mean, it seemed harmless. I did see him hit one of those kids.
Yeah,
that he did jack him up. The kid was stunned. He lost his pants, had to pull his pants up. Like, I'm sure the dad could handle himself. There's no wrong. I don't, that's not questionable.
Yeah. And I read that, I saw this too. And I read that, she said that the one who was doing all the mouthing in the car, like he never even got involved. He ran off as soon as the guy got out
that typically is what happens. The loudest one is typically the one that runs
off,
runs away. But yeah, if you see this and you're a new Uber driver, do not get out of the car. You have the advantage in the car because the second the door closes, you can. I mean, be careful, don't run them over. But like, it's time for you to go. Like, nothing's gonna happen. And again, I know I got out of my car after that guy hit me, but I knew it was just two guys and their ladies. Like it wasn't like a gang of kids that were running their mouth. You know what I mean?
It's a whole different story.
It is. It was a different scenario. But I mean, you just in that situation, she was trying to play her dad being the victim, which he was. There's no doubt about it. But he could have avoided any kind of a interaction outside of the car by staying in the car.
Yeah, 6 people in the car. There's no way I'm getting out.
Right.
That's just not smart.
Yeah, for sure. All right, last thing we're talking about the recession. Oh man.
Yeah. So anyway, this is a DoorDash driver who used to do DoorDash. She's saying came back to do DoorDash again, and she's predicting that the recession. We're on the verge of a recession because of her not getting any orders.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But anyway, so I've got questions about this because she talks about her. She said she sat there for hours without any orders, or very, very low orders. She's like, this is completely different from when she was a DoorDash driver in 2020.
Oh, good.
Which was in COVID. As we all know, food delivery was out the wazoo. You could make good money, big money. Back then, she was like, back then I literally lived off DoorDash. I paid my bills with DoorDash, everything with DoorDash. I would decline order after order because I knew a higher pay order would come in right afterwards. People literally are not ordering DoorDash. Like, people cannot afford to order DoorDash in this economy. And I agree with that.
Yes.
To a point.
Right.
I think, even I think DoorDash is saying that, sales have, number of orders and stuff has declined, since because everything's getting so high.
Right.
But it's a whole different situation than it was in 2020.
Oh, God.
Everybody knows there's a ton more drivers in Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Grubhub. All the gig work apps have many more drivers. So I think this is a partial truth.
Yeah.
But I don't think it can explain or you can predict recession just because she goes out and doesn't get any orders on DoorDash.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not a good sign, especially
Not a good barometer.
Well, yeah, there you go, barometer. I mean, where's your market? What time are you dashing? Are you a top dasher? Or they don't call it that anymore. I don't know what the fuck they call it.
Yeah. But they do, they did talk to some people that said, DoorDash customers, said, hey, I used to be an avid DoorDash customer, but with how expensive food is in general, I'm in no condition to be eating out as much, and especially, having it delivered. Now I just cook everything at home. DoorDash charges so much. I got Chipotle not long ago, and it was like $40 for a bowl.
Yeah.
With guacamole and queso. And then somebody else said ordering from Uber Eats and DoorDash is so expensive. I almost ordered the other day for my $15 meal. It would have been almost $50.
Yeah, we've said that before. Why? Why is it people still doing it though? Like, that's the thing. Like, it's not like, it's stopped. You know what I mean? But
right. But it also talks about, there are people who just get so ingrained in it, it becomes a habit with them, and they know it's not good. They know it's too expensive. They know they shouldn't be doing it. But they're like, it's they justify it in their mind. It's just, it's so convenient. They don't have to get out of the house.
Yeah.
They, that people, you can convince yourself of a lot of things.
Yeah, even Pete says he does it once a week. Like, I didn't mean to do that.
Woo,
Sorry.
Close up.
I was playing with my stress ball and it hit the keyboard and clearly hit.
Is that what you're calling it now? Your stress ball? Playing with your stress ball?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm proving it on camera, y'all. It is actually a stress ball. It's not my two balls between my legs. Anyways, back to the DoorDash thing. I mean, you can't really predict the recession, but yeah, if you come back from driving from 2020 to now, you're going to be like, what the hell happened to the gig economy? So
yes,
it's twofold. Things have slowed down. Things are getting expensive. And after COVID, a lot of people said, fuck their real jobs. I'm going to do gig work. That's basically what happened. So
yeah, there's a lot of factors. It's definitely comparing apples to oranges.
For sure. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for live.
Both of you who are watching.
Yeah, all two of you who are watching, thank you very much. I know most of our audience is on the audio podcast.
Yes, but we love you guys.
If you ever are around and want to watch the show live, we record it live every Wednesday at every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We'd love to have you on to chat. And as always, don't put up with anyone's bullshit.
And we'll see you on the road.
This podcast is produced and edited by Hey Guys Media Group. Want to start a podcast? Check out heyguysmediagroup.com.